Hey y'all, a couple weeks ago I tried fixing my coolant sensor. It was just a temporary fix, in which I kind of figured at the time it probably would be. So I got the new sensor, I got a new wire harness. I'm going to take that, replace it, and I think maybe you should come along with me. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is shut off the power to the truck. That way, just in case, there shouldn't be any problem anyway, but just in case we don't get a short leading back to the computer, causing a lot more troubles. Because if that happens, my computer goes down, and that's thousands of dollars. Now here is the main power feed for the truck. Turn that off, everything goes out. Now before you start, make sure you have everything you need. Now, in my case, I've got wire cutter and crimper, black tape, the sensor, wire harness. This wire harness comes with shrink tubing, the butt connectors, and one zip tie, and one protective sleeve. Now we have everything we need. We can get into the engine. Okay, now here's your sensor right here. This is your wire harness. Before we start taking it off, we have to undo these tie strips. There we go, got it snapped off. Remember, these are heavier duty than your normal zip ties because they're commercial grade. Go ahead and take this down. And you'll see this one here is kind of broken, which is part of the problem. And you'll see there's a circuit board inside here. There's also your locking pin. See if we can get this locking pin undone. There it goes. Should be a little tab here that you pull up. There we go. Little tab on inside here to just give it a little bit of pry. It'll come up away from the tab, which I'm not worried about saving that one anyway. Now you notice it's got a protective sleeve around it. I'll cut it back a little ways here in order to get to the wiring. Another protective coating underneath it. And there's the problem. See, this wire just broke off as I was taking this coating off. So between the sensor itself and this wire, that's my problem, which I've got both of them to replace it. I'm going to go back far enough to expose some of this wiring. However, I'm not going to go too far down because I want to, as much as the original wiring remaining as I can. Now I get rid of this casing here. It don't help that I'm colorblind. I know it went up like this, it plugs in like this. That means this is the left wire, this is the right wire. I want to hook this wire harness up the same way. That way I don't accidentally short it out. And here's my new wire harness and a new sensor. Brand new sensor. And I will leave the part numbers and my description. I'll have it posted up here also. Now I'll go ahead and strip this. And so I don't get confused, I'll go ahead and cut the right wire back. Put that far in. And I'll strip it. And I'll get my butt connector. Sure. It's always best double check just to make sure that you have it right. Okay, that goes that way. That means this way. And just warning, I am no mechanic. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Seems to be on there firmly. Now before I put this next part on, I'm going to get one of the shrinking tubes and put it on here. That way, when I get access to a heat gun, which I don't have right now, I can go ahead and shrink it up like it's supposed to be and no harm done. Because when I get access to a heat gun, I'll put it around there like that and heat it up. It shrinks around it. So it protects the wiring and its connection a lot better than tape would or anything else. But like I say, I don't have a heat gun right now, so black tape will have to do for me, won't it? Appears to be snug. Okay. And now I will cut this one about the same place. And strip it. And once again, I'll get the shrink tubing. I had a straggler. shrink tube. There she is. It's right there. All right, put that back in there. Now I got that on there. I'm going to take some black tape and wrap it up so I don't get an inadvertent short on it. Now here's my new sensor. Don't want to break anything here. As you might be able to see, I got it in sideways. It goes up, and don't force it, but it will twist to the right. Get it in the right notch. Come on. But like I said, I don't want to force it. You force it, it will break. It's just plastic. A little sharp. Cut myself a little bit. I ain't gonna show you. Don't worry. YouTube says I cannot show you. But what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and plug this in and snug that tab down. Make sure you snug the tab down so it doesn't come loose. And take your wire, zip tie it up. Using the zip tie that came with it. Now I may later cut that. Now maybe later I might come back and add another zip tie. Because the original had 2 on it, and it might need it. But right now I think 1 will work. I'll trim that piece off. And we should be good as new now. And now we have replaced sensor and wire harness. And there's a repaired sensor and wire harness. Here's your wire harness, your sensor. There's the locking tab I was telling you about. And hopefully that will solve my problem and I won't have to have anything else done to it.